Welcome to Talking Climate with Katherine Hayhoe. Each episode, we explore how climate change is affecting the people, places, and things we love, and what we can do to make a difference. From science to solutions and stories that inspire, you're in the right place for real talk about real change. This week is Earth Week, and we're talking about cooking for the climate, how many planets worth of resources we use, and why time in nature is so important for us. Let's dive in. Good news. Food, agriculture, and land use together make up 24% of heat-trapping gas emissions, according to Project Drawdown. This includes what we eat, how and where it's grown, and what we do with our food waste. Often, we just aren't aware of how our shopping, cooking, and eating habits contribute to climate change, which is why I was so happy to learn about EcoCooks, a nonprofit in Western Canada that empowers youth to take climate action by connecting how our food choices impact the planet. At EcoCooks, students learn to cook plant-based recipes using ingredients they can easily find at the local grocery, like lentil tacos, vegetable and tofu stir-fry, and vegan breakfast burritos. At the same time, students learn how food systems impact the climate. Whatever we eat can also affect the planet. Jayla Villalobos, a 10-year-old Vancouver student, told the CBC, "I had no idea that agriculture could actually release greenhouse gases." These hands-on lessons build efficacy, which in turn makes kids feel enthusiastic about fighting climate change. When kids feel empowered or excited about something, their parents often follow their lead. So it's a great way for them to say, "I want to help out," or "I want to do this," and maybe influence their parents to make some changes or try something new, said Laura Bamsey, manager of the EcoCooks Club program in Metro Vancouver. Kids often let them know that they've made the recipes at home with their parents. In Saving Us, I wrote about a study by researcher Danielle Lawson showing that when middle schoolers in North Carolina learned about climate change, their parents became more concerned too. EcoCooks is a perfect example of that. When we teach children, they often turn around and teach us right back. Not so good news. April 22nd is Earth Day. But isn't every day Earth Day? We can't survive without the resources this planet provides. It literally gives us the oxygen we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, and all the resources we use. Yet we are depleting nature's ability to support life about 70% faster than it is able to regenerate. That is the definition of unsustainable. And we aren't all contributing equally. If everyone on Earth lived like we do in Canada or the US, we'd need 5 planets to support us all. Australians, South Koreans, and many in the EU would require more than 4 Earths. Even countries like China and the UK would need around 2.5 Earths if everyone adopted their lifestyles. Meanwhile, dozens of nations like Bangladesh, Ethiopia, Pakistan, Haiti, Yemen, and more are using far less than their share of Earth's resources. The concept of the ecological footprint was developed in 1998 by Swiss sustainability expert Mathis Bakkernagel and Canadian urban planning scholar William Rees. It measures the resources needed to support one person, water, land, climate, and more. To calculate your own personal ecological footprint, use the handy calculator created by the Global Footprint Network. If your results surprise you, check out their list for ideas on what you could do to live more sustainably on the only planet we've got. What you can do. We protect what we love, but how can we love what we don't know? Modern life often keeps us indoors, disconnected from the natural world. When was the last time you walked barefoot on grass, stopped to listen to birdsong, or sat under a tree just to breathe? The more time we spend in nature, the more we value it, and the more motivated we are to protect it. But this isn't just about caring for nature. It's about caring for ourselves, too. Nature gives back generously. As I've written about before, research shows that time outdoors cuts stress and can improve our mood. It sharpens our focus, lowers our blood pressure, and can even reduce inflammation linked to chronic illnesses. That's why doctors in many countries, from Canada and the UK to Japan and New Zealand, are now prescribing nature as part of a healthy lifestyle. And did you know there's an app to help with this? NatureDose uses your phone's location to track how much time you spend outside each week. It offers reminders and challenges to encourage you to spend more time outside and to help you notice how it affects your well-being. One tester of NatureDose described how he appreciated seeing my overall weekly usage over time, knowing that I can typically correlate a week where I'm feeling more overwhelmed with a week where I spend less time outside. This is usually an after-the-fact confirmation, but also gives me motivation to get out the door each day, regardless of other influences or weather. For me, more time outside is directly proportional with less mental anguish and more happiness. So this week, why not give it a try and see how it makes you feel? Even 20 minutes a day in a natural setting can reduce cortisol, a stress hormone. You don't need a forest or a mountain, just a patch of grass, a garden, a tree-lined street, or a park will do. The benefits are real, and they're within reach for nearly all of us. Thanks for listening to Talking Climate, narrated by Ann Cloud. For more resources, links, and actions you can take, check out the full newsletter at www.talkingclimate.ca. Remember, the most important thing you can do about climate change today is to talk about it. As Catherine often says, having a conversation is like knocking over the first domino in the long pathway that'll lead us to a better future.